Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's Austin E here again, trying to show you guys how to fix the clutch bearing on your Corvette, or any car for that matter. It's pretty straightforward for across all cars. You just have to have the right part, which yet again the second auto parts store has failed me. So I went on eBay and found the exact part number for this car and ordered it off eBay. So that'll be here probably in the next week or so. Sorry, my neck's tired. I'm holding my neck up. But I'm going to show you guys real quick just to look what to look for whenever you guys are having this issue, like where it's located and whatnot, so you just are aware. So I'm under the driver's side dash right here. You just take off this little plastic paneling that hides everything, and then come back and find the clutch and follow that up, and then you will see that right there. So right now my clutch rod is not attached. I'm trying to put the bushing on to the actual clutch cylinder, and it is not. They're way too big, like I've kind of discussed before, or at least some people might have known that. But this rod will go back. It's not turned the right way, but once it is turned the right way, it'll go right back onto this piece over that bushing, and then that will get rid of any play that the clutch might have while trying to engage. The issue I'm having is these bushings are far too big, as you can see here. They won't even start to, this rod won't even begin to go over something that big. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Once I get the other bushing, I will take this piece off right here. So that's the actual bushing itself. That's way too big. So I'll get rid of that, and I will put the new bushing onto this right here. And then hopefully, if all goes well, I'll slide this rod right back on over that. And there's a little pin you got to put right in here to keep that rod in place. And then it should pretty much just, you obviously can't tell an accurate thing right now, but even when the rod was on there, it still had this play. You could still do this even when everything was hooked up correctly, and that's not good. So that's kind of what I've been dealing with here. So once I get the bushings for that, I will be able to show you guys what that looks like when you put on everything. Other stuff that I've done as of the last video. Give me a second here. Oh, okay. So something else I've done is I've taken off the all the paneling that was actually right here. There's just just cheap little plastic pieces, but it was being held on by a T40, or I guess T45 torque screw. So that was kind of, I ended up borrowing that from a friend. Thank goodness for Justin. Shout out to him for letting me use his tools all the time. And so I took that out to get that little plastic piece off, and I took the seatbelt off as well. The exact same size T-head for the Torx. And then there's also one down here as well that you'll have to get out also to remove the entire seatbelt assembly. But that's pretty much as I can strip off from right there in this area. So I will be, let's see here. And then the doors, that's my next step. I'm gonna take off all of this inner structure right here, because it still has, I guess I would say that's the outer structure, sorry. I'm gonna leave the inner structure alone, but there's an extra panel here that I don't really think I need. It just adds a lot of weight. I'm sure it helps out a little bit with accidents and whatnot, but so be it. I've also gotten rid of the spare tire and the spare tire cover, the jack, all that stuff. It's all right here. The jack that comes with the car, it also comes with a little we want to call that bolt pattern on it. I think it's a size 13 or 15 for the nut. And there's one nut that was right here that you had to get off, which was the biggest one. And then back here there were also 2 bolts for the bracket on both sides of this right here. So that it took a little bit of finesse to get the right angle and everything on the bolts, but I decided to go ahead and just take off everything, because I'm not ever really going to utilize that stuff very much. This is that piece of paneling that I was just telling you about by the driver's side that I got rid of. Yeah, it doesn't weigh that much, but it's definitely good to get. Any weight helps at this point. Took off all of these brackets on the back of the car that held the hatch on, that obviously I don't need because I'm going to run without the hatch. And then this is the spare tire cover that was under the car holding the spare tire up. And then this is the spare tire, and the jack is in here as well. I'm not really sure what they did with this stuff, but yeah, there's altogether, this weighs right about 45 or 50 pounds, I believe. So I spent about half an hour doing that. So just half an hour, I got off quite a bit of good weight from the car. And I don't really have a way to like time lapse anything or make it all like very, very fast for you guys. So I don't want to take up like a whole bunch of the video just doing work on the cars and whatnot. But I was going to show you on this side that this is what I took off on the other side, that whole piece. There's just going to be a screw up here that you have to take off right there. There's going to be a second screw right here. And then behind this, there's going to be a third screw that I could not find at first, but quite easy to do once you remove this. So that's going to be the same T-head that I used over there, which was a 45, I believe. And then the same thing up here. You're going to want to take this off. Get that T-head same place, and then you're gonna want to take this little panel off. It might be screwed in, but over there it wasn't. Yeah, I think this one's actually has a screw in it, but the other T is gonna be, oh, you don't even need to take this off to see it. It's right there. Perfect. So I'll be doing that. Just while I have to wait on that bushing, I don't really have much else I can do with the car besides strip it some more. So I'll probably take off this other panel as well, like I told you on the other side, and just kind of see what I can get going with weight on that. But that's kind of where I stand for now. So the saga with the clutch bearing continues. I hope I can get that figured out pretty soon for you guys though, and for myself. I really want to get this thing on the road and see, just go through all the gears, see if it feels natural, normal, what's kind of going on with all of that. And then next step as well for the next video, once I get the clutch bearing, I might include it in the same video about getting the brackets for these seats. It just kind of depends on my friend Justin. He's going to be a big help on this car as well. Justin Johnson, he's a very cool guy and helps me out a lot. So he's going to custom make the brackets for me. I did keep the stock seat and stock seat bracket, of course, so he has a reference of what to go off of. But it should be a little bit easier because this has all like the electronic seat and whatnot. And we don't need that. I just need a mechanical one. I can move the seat by myself. So it could even be a little bit easier and simpler than we think. But yeah, that's kind of the plan moving forward with the car. I hope we can kind of get a move on a little bit sooner. It's taking a little longer than I thought to get some of these pretty minor parts that I didn't really quite think that would be so hard to get. But I'm ecstatic. I have found a Sickie hydro handbrake for $179. That I was telling you is probably going to go right here next to that shifter. I can't decide what side I want it on yet, but it's probably going to be the right side because I have these really long monkey arms, and it's going to help me out a lot, I think, to have it a little bit further away. But we'll just play with it and kind of see. But thank you all so much for tuning in and coming back to the channel, and we will talk to you guys very soon.